In part one, we discussed an unknown but very common mistake many make in the cooking process. Using cooking oils past their intended smoke point or temperatures they were not designed for, thus generating toxic fumes and free radicals. Now, you know how extremely harmful these are to your body, especially if exposure becomes excessive. If you would like to know two major factors that keep cooking oil's healthy properties in place, then you will really enjoy this episode. As a bonus, and I love bonuses, in the end, you'll be given a very deceptive word used by marketers and manufacturers that trick many consumers when it comes to fats and oils. So if keeping healthy, losing weight, losing fat, gaining muscle, and most importantly, controlling those blood sugars are your goal, then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel. You're going to hit those alerts, that notification button, that gray bell. I know you can hear the chimes. And if you like what you've heard today, that like button. Share this with other loved ones who are on a quest for a better life. And remember, today's episode is for everyone. Have you heard the term rancidity? Rancid oils may taste bad, and they won't really make you sick per se in the short term. But because these rancid oils do contain free radicals, there might be an increased risk of developing diseases such as cancer or heart diseases down the road. Now, without getting too deep and complicated, that is because these decomposing oils can become cytotoxic, which means toxic to the cells, and mutagenic, which means they are capable of changing your DNA, right? Oils go rancid through a chemical reaction that causes these fat molecules, they start to break down. The whole process is, say, sped up by three components, one of which we've already discussed in part one, excessive heat. The other two, which I will introduce you today, are the exposure to light and air. But before we continue, I have a quick side note for you. Our goal is to add to your nutritional knowledge, so that'll help make sense of today's discussions and future discussions. Now, fats like butter and lard, you notice they're solid at room temperature. Why? Because these fats typically contain a higher degree of saturated fats in them. And generally, they will have a higher melting point, slightly higher smoke point, thus higher cooking temperatures, than do other unsaturated fats or monounsaturated fats, which you've noticed are liquid at room temperature. So the higher the saturation, the more solid it's going to be. Make sense? Why is this important to understand? Because unsaturated fats, like, I'll give you an example, sesame or walnut oil, they will basically become rancid a little faster because of that chemical structure. So vegetable oils, which are highly polyunsaturated, tend to even be more or less stable and turn rancid even more quickly than do the animal fats or the other oils. Now, how would you know if the fat you're using or the oil you're using has gone rancid? First question we got to answer. What you need to do is this. Pour a small amount of oil into a shallow cup. You need to get a good sniff. If that oil has we call it an unpleasant sweetness, or like a fermented fruit or fruit that's gone bad smell, or I hate to say this, sometimes even a paint-like odor, it's rancid. What do you do with it? You throw it away. No questions asked. It's done. It's finished. Now, we're going to give you some tips on how to prevent your oils from going rancid. First, keep those oils in the original bottles and tightly capped. A tightly capped bottle will help prevent your oil from being unnecessarily overexposed to the first key element, oxygen. Once exposed to air, a carbon-oxygen bond is created, also leading to a number of products, including and not limited to aldehydes, ketones, and other various acids. Now, the next factors are indirect heats and light. You always want to purchase your oils in those very dark tinted glass. They're usually dark brown or dark green. It's fine. I'm sure you've noticed that. Now you know why. They help filter, block out that light that the oil is exposed to, even while it's sitting on those grocery shelves. At home, this is critical. Store your oils in a cabinet that closes completely shut so it's light-proof. You want it as dark as possible for those oils to remain fresh. When it comes to heat, many oils are best kept in the refrigerator where the temperatures remain low. It is recommended to refrigerate olive oil if your kitchen is humid and temperatures are, they say, around 80 degrees Fahrenheit or higher on a regular basis. Pay attention to where you place your bottle of oil while you're cooking. You never want to expose it to indirect heat, such as next to a stove or even worse, above a hot stove. That means, that's where people make a lot of mistakes when it comes to their oils. That means the cabinets you store your oils should not be directly adjacent to that stove. Again, why? Even direct heat, it accelerates those chemical processes when the oil, it causes those molecules to start moving around and wiggling real fast, and they start to bang into each other. Okay? Gentle reminder again, it's the first thing I see. You want to cap that bottle whenever you're not using it or pouring it. And do not use those fancy jars people use for aesthetics. It doesn't work for oils. Because air, light, and heat speed up oxidation, don't buy vegetable oils in clear plastic bottles and then place them on the counter in a warm kitchen for several months. See that all the time. Remember, this is the key to understand. It's those highly polyunsaturated vegetable oils that go rancid the fastest. And it's usually those oils that are basically exposed to the most amount of elements. Now, today, it's all about those big box stores. We're going to go get something. We're going to get toothpaste. We're going to get toothpaste. We want to get the most value for our buck. And this is where it changes when it comes to oils. Do not buy those oils in those large supersized containers. You want to do just the opposite when it comes to oils. You want the smallest size that can be used within the fastest time frame. Now, all oils, including the finest olive oils, will get rancid. So let's just say you were gifted with a beautiful, very expensive bottle of olive oil. Do you put it away and use it for a special occasion? No, it's not like a bottle of wine. You must never hoard olive oil. Use it and enjoy it. You want to consume it sooner than later. It's recommended using olive oil within 3 to 6 months. Okay? Another tip for olive oil. If you have a harvest date on that bottle, you're going to want to purchase that, because if there's no harvest date on that bottle, it's quite possible that oil could be already be 2 years older or more. Now, to the most important part of this episode. In part 1, I went over a discussion on olive oil and if it's healthy or healthier than any other oils. Now, in order to continue with this topic, one needs to understand a very key point about oils. How do I put this? Healthier does not mean healthy. Let me repeat myself. Healthier does not mean healthy. I'll give you an extreme example. Are light cigarettes healthier than regular cigarettes? Maybe, but they both kill. What you need to know about fats is this. Fats and oils are a very dense source of calories, more so than any other food you're going to eat. It contains 9 calories per gram. Carbohydrates are 4 calories per gram. Protein-based foods are 4 calories per gram. So it's double those of carbs and protein. Now, if you want to know what alcohol is, alcohol ranges around 7 calories per gram. So, health is first going to depend on how much total calories are coming in. If one is grossly over their energy balance and then using healthy fats, those healthy fats become unhealthy. So no amount of good antioxidants or good nutrients as oils will overcome excessive calories, especially if carbs are presently and concurrently used along with those oils. That's because insulin becomes a dominant hormone throughout the day, storing those excessive nutrients, causing inflammation at the same time. Okay? So it's only when one is at balance can those certain oils that are healthy bring you additional health. So there's two components to this. It's not only which oil, but how much. So pouring olive oil over a salad has no health benefits if that dinner as a whole or the whole day's calories far exceed what your daily needs are, especially if this occurs on a continuous basis. Now, I'm going to set things up for you. You'll see a little white box above you. You want to click that. That will take you to my energy balance equation video. If you haven't seen that, you need to watch it. That video explains how do you determine your energy requirements, which one has to know first. I will also set a picture link at the very end of the video, and that will take you to the same episode too. Now, for my added bonus. The word light is sometimes used to impart a healthier version. You'll see it on bread, yogurt, salad dressing, condiments. It's a marketing tactic used for the masses to confuse. No matter the claim on the front of the bottle, always read your labels. So, if you see a bottle of oil that says the word light on it, that does not mean lower in calories. It just means lighter in color, or as you now know through part 1, it's been processed. It will still have 120 to 130 calories per tablespoon or contain 9 calories per gram, just like every other oil. Victory, aha. See, now with a Brazilian diabetic by your side, you're no longer going to be fooled. But we're going to take this step by step, day by day, right? It is super important for us new channels. The more you hit those alerts, like I asked in the introduction, the more YouTube will promote this channel. Thus, the more people will get to see it. That's why I keep asking again and again. I truly want to reach as many people as I can, and with your help, I will. So hit those alerts. So if you have any questions, concerns, or even discussions about what we've had in the past that you want me to go into future and further details, please free to mention this in the comment section. Have a great day, a productive week, and we will see you soon.